Hello, everybody. All right, and of course, to those out there, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. That'd be terrific. Also, if anything we talk about tonight grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we'll try to answer them to the best of our ability. So,
Hello.
Rick, how'd your day go today? How's your day
Good. I had a good stream, and hello to JR out in the chat.
Yeah, I just seen him right there.
I made sure to announce this at the end of my stream, about 2:00 my time, so 11 yours.
Hail Xena and Xena. Yeah, I had a pretty busy day today, so I was like running behind quite a bit, unfortunately. So
yeah.
Let's see. So, anyways,
JR, take it you liked my review on Truth, Justice, American Way.
And Rick, of course, if you want to, feel free to share any links you'd like to, of course. So
the link that I'll be sharing tonight is actually for my review of Gabe. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. Truth, Justice.
Eltabe. Gabe Eltabe.
Yeah, I think that might be how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
I actually I posted that I did on Twitter and I tagged him. He actually went and watched it. So, and he was like, "Nice review." You know, I feel you in the 64 pages thing. You know.
Well, if you think about it, what I do here on the in part, what we do here on the historical comics retrospect is, of course, a bit of a book review as well as, of course,
yeah. We're doing a reading and a review at the same time.
Right.
A little bit more of the review might come on the Sunday night when you, well, hopefully you have your guest on that was on the panel on Friday night and they can comment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anyways, so with that, and then I think I did just. So if you guys want to check that out, there's the video.
Yeah. What did Gabe say? Yeah, I'm just gonna read what he said to me about my review. He's like, "Nice review. I feel you on the 64 pages being limiting. I did my best to fit as much of the story in there without overdoing the exposition. One good thing with the page constraints was I kept the pace very brisk. I didn't want to waste time hemming and hawing. Thanks for the support." And I tweeted him back, "You're welcome." And then he liked that.
Wise words from one as young as Rick about
Gabe's book.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, so what's on tap for tonight? I know is that we're going to be going over comics that went on sale in November 1939 for Fox Feature Syndicate. Tonight, we're going to, of course, be reading through Fantastic Comics Volume 1, Number 2. We're going to be reading the Samson story out of that. Wonder World Comics Volume 1, Number 9, The Flame, and then Blue Beetle and Zanzibar the Magician from Mystery Men Comics Volume 1, Number 6. Now, of course, an interesting tidbit that I was sharing with Rick just before we came on here, for those who may have seen me read the Samson story the last time. This in the Fox Feature Syndicate universe, this Samson was a direct descendant of the biblical Samson.
Yeah.
So what we came to find out. So, anyways, without any further ado, let me go ahead and pull that up, and then we will start on the reading.
I was about to say something, but I forget what now. Jeez. I hate it when I go to say something and then I forget what I'm going to say.
And as always, of course, folks, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see where you get some more friendly people in here, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we will go ahead and we'll go ahead and try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. So,
I know what I was going to say. The Flame that we're reading tonight is not to be confused with the Flame from Cross Comics. They are not the same character.
right. So, here they say number 33, but number 33 in the thing there, but number 2 is, I think, technically the second issue. Cover date of January of 1940. Of course, this went on sale in November of 1939. So, with one tweet, Samson destroyed the battery and routed the foe. I mean, at 68 pages. So, recast the cover.
You know what? That 33 might have been. It might have been a reprint cover of some sort and something else, because if you notice, one of these covers does not have that 33 on.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Oh, there it says March 2006 or something on the one upper. There's a green thing right there, March 6th. Go down just a little bit more. Or
Oh, yeah, March
6th.
6th, 2008. Yeah. That might have been a reprint. Here we go. And then from the original Q4, Super Spy, Sub Saunders, Stardust. An open letter. Thank you, boys and girls, for the grand way in which you have. We'll continue to try to give you the best in adventure, thrills, and action in every single feature of Fantastic Comics. Don't miss a single issue of this thrilling new magazine. As we all know, comic books were actually called magazines back then. Let's see. 64 pages of excitement and full color that you can't afford to miss. The greatest 10 cents worth on the newsstands. Can you imagine how many comics you could buy if they were all still 10 cents?
And 64 pages at that, because, most are what, 20, 22?
Yeah, most today. Well, I think there's
of story. That's not including ads.
Yeah. 20 pages or so turns it's just story. Now remember, these books had their own share of ads too. Don't forget that.
Yeah, but I think the 64 pages for this is, again, they're talking about the stories take up 64 pages. Yeah, they've got ads, so it's a little bit bigger than that. Like your normal comic is, like I said, 20, 22 pages, and then they have about 10 ads plus. If it's 20 pages, then I think they have 12 pages of ads.
Yeah. Remember, we want this to be your magazine, and your suggestions will receive our careful consideration to help make this magazine that you will enjoy.
Magazine. No.
Yeah. The editors. Yeah. Well, you have to remember too, back in these days too, the ways these were set up too, they were kind of, as I've always stated, they're somewhat akin to highlights, right?
Yeah.
They'd have activity pages, featurettes, and all that as well.
Yeah. Well, they were short stories, compared, half story. Well, depending on the pages, short or half stories by today's standards, because usually you get a full story in the 20, 22 pages. These are 10, 12, maybe 14, so maybe you get more than half, depending.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the ones that are like 4 pages too, 4, 6, or 8, something like that.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's get going here. Samson by Alex Boone. Into the peaceful countries of France, England, and Belgium march the big armies of Dragor, cruel dictator of Ratonia. Dragor has unleashed his dogs of war at the world. well armed with multi-barreled gas fire guns. Gas fire guns, an interesting weapon. Hey there, Rick.
Yeah. Does it just shoot gas, or it probably shoots some sort of bullet or whatever container with gas in it that would break
Maybe some
open
form
a
of
prawn?
like flammable gas. A form of a flammable gas, probably.
Yeah, either that or when it hits impact and it explodes or whatever, opens up and releases gas.
They
That,
burn their way over Europe. Tonight seems like the eye of doom for most of
Eve.
Europe. Oh, what was that?
I think that's Eve, not I.
Huh. Huh. Tonight seems like the eve of doom for most of Europe. At this very moment, the Allies are helpless in halting the advance of the madman who, at a word, might send civilization to its end. At the front, the mechanized soldiers are suddenly confronted by a huge figure of a man. It is mighty Samson. War? Bah! Won't they ever learn? You want to do the German soldiers here?
Himmler, look at that man! Ja, he's walking right in front of the line of fire. Shoot! Shoot! Stop him!
All right, I need to step away for a quick moment, Rick. So if you want to talk to people,
Okay.
I gotta go turn the do not disturb sign on my phone. I once again forgot.
Yeah. So JR, if you're still here, did you have a design already for the Persian or Persian, however, the Prussian shield, or not? Because I was looking up the flags this afternoon. There's a few different looks for the flag, because I was thinking of trying to make up something, looking for helmets and masks for the early 1900s, like 1910 era, and look of some of the, well, it shows more soldiers or whatever on the Wikipedia page.
All right. So, all right. Well, I'm back now.
Yeah.
Samson strides fearlessly on toward the big gun and lifts it high overhead. Oh boy, that's got to be quite a frightening sight, isn't it? If you're the enemy. Dude just took our gun and he's not gonna beat us with it.
I think he's throwing it away. I don't think he's going to beat them with it. Although I think he'll beat them individually.
Yeah. The astonished soldiers are no match for powerful Samson and are tossed about like paperweights.
I wonder if this Samson is public domain. Is this one public domain, or do you know?
It most likely is, yeah, I would think so.
It'd be interesting for me to pick him up for Cross Comics.
I mean, I would look into it a little deeper before, actually.
Yeah, just doing it.
Yeah.
I could obviously do an original Samson, from the Bible with no qualms, but
Samson finds a huge tank that supplies the fire gas to hundreds of guns before Paris. Now I'll put this sector out of operation on for a while. With bounds that cover several yards, Samson leaps across the battlefield. There's only one way to stop war: destroy the source. Lifting the huge tank as though it were a toy, he hurls at the advancing battalion of tanks. Traveling swiftly over enemy ground, Samson reaches the city of slaves. No orders to advance will be given tonight, if I can help it. With a keen glance, Samson measures the height of the building. There are no doors, but the top is only 30 feet from here.
I'm sure there's doors, you just don't know where they are.
Yeah,
Look all
right.
around.
Secret passageways and all that, right?
Yeah, because not everybody can make a 30-story leap,
Yeah.
To get into the place.
Moving back a few steps, Samson leaps easily, clearing the wall. Samson is seen. Sirens scream, and searchlights crisscross as they hunt him.
They're certainly almost trying to make him into a bit of Superman here.
Yeah, because in the early days, in the Golden Age version of Superman, of course, he wasn't flying; he was leaping an eighth of a mile.
Yeah.
So good point there. Samson swiftly avoids the light, but some people would also argue. Some people would also argue that Superman actually was Jewish. And if you remember Samson, if this is supposed to be a descendant of the biblical Samson,
yeah.
So a lot of it's based on Jewish lore right there.
Yeah. Well, if for being based off the original Samson, well, we don't know everybody that he had relations with, but we know like 2 women, I think. Both were Philistines, so this Samson would most likely have to be part Philistine.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, unless it's supposed to be some Jewish woman, but from what we know of Samson, he was not really interested in Jewish women.
Clinging to the sides of buildings and leaping from one rooftop to another, Samson approaches a huge armament plant.
And the other reason I say, for Superman is because he's doing some feats that even Samson didn't do, like, leaping 30 feet up into the air.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, technically more, because the building was 30 feet. He cleared the wall, had to land. So, probably 35, 40
Well,
feet.
actually, I don't know if it was last week or something like that, but I came across an article over on Bleeding Fool, where they were talking about the history of like a lot of the Jewish American comic book creators early on.
Yeah. Although, I know not Superman. Superman's creators were Jewish, although with the way that they've written the story, he would probably have been Protestant Christian.
Yeah.
Growing up in the Midwest and all that, the parents and all that.
Yeah. Anyways, at last, Samson reaches the window and pauses momentarily. He sees slaves in this modern civilization. The powerful frame of Samson comes crashing through the window. As the giant figure swings across the vast hall, he rips the guard bridge from its moorings. Look at that.
Yeah.
Samson's powerful hands break the heavy chains of the slaves. And I'll let you do the slaves. I'll do. I have come to free you.
We are very grateful to you. We will help you fight. Yeah. We will help you in this fight against the tyrannical Dragor.
I believe it's pronounced Dragor, but
Dragor.
Yeah. We must destroy Dragor by destroying the armaments and stop the manufacture of more munitions.
That turbine is the power of this plant, but it is impossible to destroy.
However, Samson, undaunted by the slave's words, surprises them by completely destroying the giant turbine with his mighty strength. Now, look at that. Knocking it over there. With the turbine demolished, all work and production activity ceases. Samson and the freed slaves release the others. Send as many men as possible to the Allied armies. Order them to prepare to advance. I'm going to visit Mr. Dragor. Brushing aside a sentry as though he were a tin soldier, Samson rushes to Dragor's quarters. Out of my way. Surrender. I have freed your slaves. Never will your armies march against the people of Europe.
You're mad! Seize him!
Samson easily overpowers the guards. During the fight, Dragor disappears. Meanwhile, the Rotonian general staff await orders for their advance on the 4 capitals.
You want me to do these guys?
Yeah.
We should have gotten orders by now. Maybe our leaders have postponed our attack until nightfall. And this, I guess, too.
Yeah.
There seems to be some mystifying delay at the front. The expected attack has not yet been launched. Perhaps there's still hope.
The cowardly Dragor has fled through a passageway to his steel-bound room.
Now that I am safe here, I will order my troops to attack at the front.
Quick, tell me where is Dragor before I end your worthless life.
Don't! I will lead you to him.
Led by the guard, Samson is upon the steel room of Dragor and crashes through its massive steel wall. But again, the crafty Dragor escapes by going through a panel.
He'll never find me.
Samson pursues the dictator and finds himself in a maze of twisting passages. This is a Chinese puzzle. Impatient at not finding the dictator, Samson crushes the great winding walls with a terrific shove. Wow, that's one way to take out a maze, isn't it, Rick?
Yeah, for sure.
Meanwhile, Dragor escapes the wreck and in an armored car heads for the Paris front. Having arrived in Paris by a plane which he had captured from Dragor's force, Samson organizes a defense party. With the enemy powerless because of the loss of their gas fire gun supply, the defense army advances. Dragor's planes bomb the bridge over which Samson and the French army must pass. But this doesn't stop them, for Samson where Samson utilizes his great strength to hold up the bridge. Wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
That looks familiar to you, Rick?
Yeah.
Who else have we been talking about who we've seen do that on a few occasions?
Superman.
Yep.
Stupid man. I mean Superman.
Samson and his forces easily overcome the enemy. In a short while, in a short while Dragor's general hands over his sword to Samson and gives up.
We cannot carry on without a leader.
Suddenly, Dragor arrives on the battlefield in an armored car. Samson lifts the car above his head and marches victoriously through the cheering throngs of Paris. Now imagine that. You see something like that. What do you think? How do you think people are going to react? See this like almost naked guy carrying this car through the streets of Paris
with somebody in it, nonetheless.
Yeah,
Not whether you could tell. It's hard to tell whether you'd be able to see that or not.
Morning call. Peace signed. Peace signed. War ends. In all countries of Europe, there is great rejoicing.
Yeah, too bad it wasn't that easy, that war.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you just from what when I've gone over some of the stuff from Quality, same thing happened there, and they made up a few countries. It's like around this time, it'd be like, yeah, we'll go over and help the war, and we'll end it real quickly by just sending over our heroes. Samson tosses the cruel and the merciless Dragor to the people of Paris to punish as they wish.
I think they meant to say punish him as they wish.
Well,
it's not in there, but
punish as they wish. Yeah, it could work that way too. So, the great rulers of the world show their gratitude to Samson. You want to do the ruler right there?
Thank you for saving the world from complete destruction. We offer you any position in our government you wish.
No, my friend, my place on earth is where mankind is in distress, and not in any high government office. Where there is injustice and despair, you will find me. The powerful Samson pits his mighty strength against the ruthless dealers of injustice. Don't miss the next story in Fantastic Comics, on sale the 10th of each month. Fantastic Comics is on sale the 10th of every month. So
I wonder with Fantastic Comics out there, Stan Lee might have read this, whether he got the idea just from the Fantastic Four from that, with the word Fantastic Comics. Because one more word.
I think Stan Lee was actually was an editor at Timely Comics around this time as well. So
I don't think so. I think because he said about growing up with DC and all that, reading DC.
No, Stan, because I do remember this because we talked about this before. I think around this time, Stan Lee was actually becoming an editor for Timely.
Because I wasn't thinking it was till the 60s or something that he did that.
No, he was starting out in the because remember he actually was also involved in World War II. Granted, he started Marvel or took Marvel in the 60s, but he was like very early on in his career here in 39.
Yeah, well, yeah, he would have been about. He was born December 28th, so At this point, he would have been 16, about to go on to be 17. In just over a month.
Yeah, but they still. Let me look it up real quick here. Pull up the.
Yeah, I've got his Wikipedia page up.
Yeah, I do too. Because I know I'm pretty sure I remember them saying that he actually started his publishing career in 1939 there.
Lee became an assistant in 1939 at Timely Division.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Okay, maybe he didn't become a full editor, but he had been, but he had been early career with the help of his uncle Robbie Solomon. Lee became an assistant in 1939 at the new Timely comics division belonging to Pulp magazine and comic book. Timely by the 1960s would evolve into more comics. So I knew because I'd read something along the lines that he had been he was like I wasn't sure if he was an editor but he was getting his start in 1939.
Yeah, it says here his duty were prosaic at first. In those days, the artists dipped their pens in ink, so he had to make sure the inkwells were filled. Lee recalled in 2009. I went down, got them their lunch. I did proofreading and erased the pencils from finished pages for them. So
he was doing a little bit of editing, maybe not he may not have had any power, but he was probably doing some editing.
Yeah, it looks like they say proofreading, so that's just making sure things were done right. Marshalling his childhood ambition to be a writer, young Stan Lieber made his comic book debut with the text filler Captain America foils the Traitor's Revenge and Captain America.
So anyways, we'll go through and just briefly look through the rest of this, and we'll move on to the next story here.
Sorry.
So this from Stardust, the Star Warrior, I believe.
Rain.
Look at how they use colors here. The Golden Knight.
Yeah. We got somebody new in the chat. I think Rang or Range, Chem66, saying, "What's your favorite Rang Chem concession road?" I have no idea because I have no idea what that is.
Neither do I. I think it sounds like it may be somebody who's been here in the past who's asked similar type questions there.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Offhand.
I think it was Jason something. Jason Myers. Anyways, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. I'd be appreciated. Also, anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. With that, let's just continue on looking over this real quick before we get on to the next feature. The Golden Knight feature, of course. Look at how they used colors back then. Yank Wilson.
Yeah.
Super Spy. But look at how they use colors back. The colors are pretty bright here. Good scan, obviously. And the paneling was pretty good here too. It's easy to follow, unlike with some of the comics from this time. Space Smith there.
Space Smith. Smith Space.
Better than Safe Space, right?
Yeah.
You even know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The Marvel character.
Yeah.
Or supposed Marvel character. I'm not sure whether that ever got produced. Captain Kidd.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a kid, but he's a captain. Yes.
The Secrets of Magic by
Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus, Alamagocus.
Yeah. Professor Fiend by Boris.
Just look at that face. Her head.
And if he had more of a, if that guy had more of a blue, kind of a light blue tint, like ice blue tint to him,
you thinking Megamind? Megamind?
No. Light blue ice blue coloring.
I'm not sure who you're thinking of. Mr. Freeze?
I think his name might have been Professor Cold or Professor Frost from, I think it's from Care Bears or something like that.
Oh, well, I'm not sure.
Coldheart, that's who it was. Coldheart.
Oh, okay.
Professor Coldheart. That's who I was thinking of. Anyways, look at all.
Hey, that one thing looked like from Bugs Bunny.
Flick Falcon in the Fourth Dimension by Orville Wells. Wonder if he's related to Orson Welles. And some of the fantastic settings he set up here.
Yeah.
There's some good girl art right there.
Yeah.
Sub Saunders and the Rebels of the Deep. And you see just how varied these anthologies were. You had a little bit of everything in it. You had deep space, you had deep sea, you had westerns, you had crime, you had crime drama.
War, period war, older war stuff.
Right, just all right. So there we go with that one. So now, shoot back up. Just head over to Wonder World Comics, Volume 1, Number 9. Ooh.
I wonder, Rhonda, who wrote the book of comics. I wonder, wonder who wrote the wonder of wonderful comics.
It's kind of funny because Wonder World actually started for the first couple of issues. They were called Wonder Comics, and then by issue 3, they changed the name of the comic to Wonder World Comics.
Wonderworld.
And here we're going to go to issue 9 and read The Flame. And after all of the fire and with all the rage, I will be the flame. All right, there we go. And there's the flame right there. The guy who can travel via flame, do you remember?
Yeah. I gotta actually do some sort of crossover with this flame. With my flame. The flame versus flame.
K-51 Spies at War, Yarko the Great, Spark Stevens of the Navy. There's a sport album. He did Joe Louis, Joe Jaramillo, introduced scientific boxing. Jim Mutry, father of professional baseball. No, I don't believe it was Jim Mutry. It was, I was under Cartwright. 2-second knockout.
Well, also didn't the Chinese invent baseball?
Not that I knew of.
Because I think or Japanese, whatever.
No, because Japanese did have their own baseball. That's true, but I think it was started here in the States back in the 1800s. The flame. Over a submarine-infested sea, the flame battles the underwater raiders of the deep. Through the choppy waters of the Atlantic, an American freighter patiently plods towards war-torn Europe. And cries of agony and panic.
I think it's might be the one
amid.
below.
Amid.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking it's the one below first.
Oh. All right. Without warning, a long gray torpedo strikes the boat amidship. Boom! Amid cries of agony and panic, the lumbering ship sinks below the surface. U.S. freighter sunk by sail, ship torpedoed. Those swine will pay for this. Retiring to his magnificent laboratory, the Flame begins his plan for wreaking vengeance on the heartless killers. First, I shall need an explosive more powerful than any known. For hours he works tirelessly. Finally, there. This capsule contains enough power to destroy the largest ship afloat.
Hey, better be careful with it. You could really blow your head off.
Yeah.
Or your hand.
Meanwhile, on an island deep in the South Atlantic, General Doyle is visited by a high official of a great foreign power. You want to do these two?
Okay. You have done well, Day Off. Here is your fee. It is not enough. If we are to complete your plan, we want twice the amount. But where was the agreed price? My dear ambassador, I fight for whoever pays me the most. I have received an offer of twice what you pay me. Unless you meet my price, our deal is off. You're all right. You all right? Here's your money. What do I do now? Sink the U.S. steamer Charlton and do not leave any survivors.
Early the next day, the Carlton, out of New York, bound for Oslo, majestically cleaves its way through the water. Close off port, a grim gray shadow points its ugly nose at the liner. In the deadly U-boat.
Ready, fire! Excellent. Direct hit. Now to liquidate the crew.
Quickly, the submarine comes to the surface and opens fire on them.
Ha! That will get them! Captain, look! Coming out of the fire!
As the hungry flames eat at the ship's vitals. Wow! That's a very interesting way to say that.
Yeah.
A tall figure begins to appear, and suddenly the flame stands in the roaring inferno.
I would have used the word raging inferno. I think it would have had a little bit more impact.
I think it's you.
Oh, okay. He's coming after us. Quick, sink that ship.
Shell after shell goes ripping through the flaming liner. Still, it comes on swiftly like a great red ghost.
No time to submerge. Full speed ahead for the island.
Boom!
Our submarine returns. Yes, but see, it's bringing the burning ship right into our harbor. That is bad.
In the burning cabin of the Carlton, the flame relentlessly guides the vessel after the fleeing submarine. This,
So,
I think that.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Read the.
This boat's sinking fast. I've got to get ashore.
Okay, yeah, I was going to mention it. Shouldn't that boat be sank by now? I don't know how far that U-boat had to go, but I'm assuming it would be far enough that the other boat would sink because, it's been hit quite a few times. Just my thoughts.
Yeah. Hitting upon a plan, the flame dashes into the hold and pours barrel after barrel of oil on the heaving ocean. There now to ignite it with my flame gun. He's planning on setting the ocean on fire, and I can cross over without even getting my feet wet.
Yes, because he's running on the flames.
Because he's kind of made of flames after all. He can travel.
Now the question is, would have the oil spread that fast to the land? Because you dump them all there in a row, it's like, I don't know.
Let's see. Soon, at the island's headquarters, the U-boat captain tries to tell General Doyle his strange experience.
Stop babbling, man. What happened? Look there. Why, that's the flame. There is only one way to destroy him, and that is by water. General Dayoff, we will lay a trap.
I think it goes left, right. I think it goes.
Yeah, I get it. Observe, he will come through this fire, then our men will capture him, will enclose him in that glass tube, and slowly fill it with water.
Quickly, the fire leaps higher and higher. Suddenly, the flame appears. Good evening, gentlemen. General Doyoff, I have come to take you to the States to be tried for the murders of countless numbers of people. Suddenly, Doyoff's men with clubs and bludgeons fall upon the flame. The tremendous odds proved to be too much for the mighty flame.
Hurry, put him in the glass tube while I turn on the water.
Oh, my head. What's this water? Drawing his gun, the flame aims at the surging water. The water begins to boil violently as the huge tongue of flame strikes it. Ugh, this steam is stifling me. My plan has to work soon, or as the water boils faster and faster, the glass expands, and with a sharp snap, shatters to bits.
My question is, how dumb are these people?
What do you
They
mean?
didn't. They know who he is. Obviously, they know what he does. They knew enough. Oh, there's a fire there. He's gonna appear there. You know, then we're gonna lay on him. They didn't think to remove his flame gun.
Or stay there to make sure he actually died, right? There's another thing.
Yeah, it's just these people are a little slow in the brains.
Yeah. There, free. First, I'll destroy this place, and then I'll get those culprits. Leaping from the window of the flame, turns and hurls one of his lethal capsules. Boom! Now for that killer Doyoff. Meanwhile, aboard a U.S. destroyer, and I'll let you do all these guys.
Sounds like an explosion coming from that island. Look, sir. There's the killer submarine. After them, full ahead. Confound it, a destroyer. I'll escape in my plane while the others go by submarine.
Jumping into his plane, the cowardly leader takes off as the flame runs across the field. Catching onto the tail, the flame edges up behind General Doyoff, slugging him into unconsciousness. The flame takes over the controls. Diving low, he drops 3 of his tiny pellets on the submarine U-boat. Down the spin, hitting the ship before fore and aft, blowing it to bits. Landing quickly, the flame turns Doyoff over to the destroyer's captain.
Good work, man. But who are you?
I am known as the Flame, and you will know me by that name until I've won my fight against crime and until it disappears from the earth. Don't dare to miss the next thrilling adventure of the Flame. Wonder World Comics is on sale the 28th of every month. And then we'll breeze through. Remember your old buddy Yarko there?
Yeah, I do.
Yarko the Great.
Yarko.
And we have Shorty Shortcake here.
Shorty Shortcake. I wonder if any relation to Strawberry Shortcake.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, Patio Day.
Patio Day, yeah. Newsreel reporter.
Spark Stevens.
Let's see.
Dr. Fung.
Master Sleuth of the Orient. Tommy Taylor's Dad Tells of His Travels by S.M. Iyer. Text story there.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Tex Mason. You're still here. I didn't ask if you were. I figured you're still here.
I thought you said it myself. I asked if I was.
Nope. Tex Mason routing the road agents at Rat River Roost.
So is the Flame the only one in this book, or we got others?
Well, I had picked 4 stories altogether. One from Samson, the Flame, and then 2 from Mystery Men Comics with Blue Beetle and Zanzibar. I'm just going through this just to show people,
Let's see. Modern Sleeping. Miss Patricia Magyar began her
wonders that are true. Strange Snake.
Began her long sleep that lasted 17,500 hours. Her ailment is still a mystery to science. She died at 29 years of age. Oh, wow.
Modern Sleeping Beauty of Miss Patricia Maguire. What a hog! A tisket, a tasket, a telephone casket. Don Quixote at Coney Island. 851 Spies at War. See the other features here. Mob Buster Robinson by Harold Vance.
Daily Globe.
Of course, the gang-busting attorney here is who he is. Wonderworld Stamp Club. Movie Memo. Charles Butterworth, Lee Tracy.
Oh, I wonder if that's Avery Buttersworth. Avery Buttersworth, great grandfather, uncle or something.
Marie Dressler. Art Stevens. Navy guy.
Well, Navy guy, looking for a Navy guy. Do. Does whatever a Navy can. Do. Navy guy swims through the ocean just like a boat, just like a sub. Bub.
Yeah, just going through here, just breathing through some of these stories. People will. Now we'll get to Mystery Men Comics. Yeah. Before we get into this one too much, I do have to step away for a moment. So if you want to talk to the chat, Rick,
yeah,
that, I'll be right back.
Okie dokie, Smokey. Hey, anybody there? I'm looking for you. I don't know why, but I am. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so is anybody watching? Anybody listening? I hope so. Do we have anybody just lurking? one watching right now, according to that. So there's nobody here. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, the Shield from Prep Comics. That's what I was going to be doing or trying to do. Okay, Shield. Anybody here? I don't know what to say. Nobody's here to talk to. Um, so I'm just being a bit silent while we wait for Mike to come back.
And I'm back.
Yes, there you are.
All right. So anyway, so we're gonna head over here to Mystery Men Comics, Volume 1, Number 6. All these now. Strange Mysteries Unsolved. Green Mask. Look at how bright all that is.
Yeah, well, some of it is, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, those colors are for sure. Oh, Blue Beetle. Isn't that Blue Beetle?
No, this is Green Mask. Blue Beetle
okay.
later on. Now, eventually, Blue Beetle will become the lead feature at some point during the Mystery Men Comics run, but he's not there yet. Rex Dexter of Mars. Sci-fi type story there. Let's see. Billy Bounce. This is him, the kid detective. Taking identity. Chang.
Chang, lang, lang, bang, lang, lang, ching, ching. Ching, 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 ching.
Wing Turner. Floyd Kelly, which I believe he's a pilot, obviously. Navy pilot, I would gather. Lieutenant Drake of Naval Intelligence. Hemlock Sholmes and Dr. Potsam. The Dreamer by Sid L. Sidney. Captain Savage, Sea Rover. There we go. There's the Blue Beetle.
It's the Blue Beetle. We're just going to boo him.
The carnival around the corner just closed for the night. Two thugs walk toward John Doerr's tent, bent on, in quotes, inducing him to use their crooked slot machines. So it sounds like a bit of a racket by Charles Nichols, of course. Sounds like we got a little bit of racketeering going on here, extortion. Finally, they arrive at the central tent where the manager is preparing for bed. Want to do these guys?
Well, you again. I'm giving you your last warning. Either you let us put your slot machines in this place, or else. Or else nothing, you rat. And the next time you come here, I'll put some slots in your dirty face of yours.
Giving 2 patrolmen a vacation, the police chief summons Dan Garrett and Mike Manigan. I'm putting you 2 men on patrol duty at the carnival. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The next day, the 2 policemen are patrolling their new beat.
Step right up, folks.
Sure, I was the best pitcher for the Brooklyn Mud Hens in me youth, Dan. Yeah, let's try that baseball contest. Okay, Mike, let's see what you can do. Take it easy. Sure. And here is a strike.
Woof.
Ahem. I think we ought to try the merry-go-round.
Yeah, he's almost skinned that guy alive with a baseball.
Suddenly, the 2 officers are startled by a terrific noise. What's that? Dan Garrett and Manigan quickly arrive at the scene of the crash. Hurry, Mike! Come here! Wait. Hurry, Mike! Come here! Right with you, Dan. In a few minutes, Dan Garrett and his fellow officer have everything under control.
Hey, trusty sidekick, how are you?
Trusty sidekick. Hello.
How are you tonight? It's been a while since I've seen you around, Trusty.
Is this one of the guys on your channel, Rick?
Yeah, he used to come by quite a bit when I was doing stuff on a regular. Well, I'm doing stuff regular now. But yeah, Trusty's a pretty good guy.
Well, welcome to the show, Trusty. I hope you'll enjoy it while you're here. You can help us out
right
by
now,
sharing the stream and getting the word out. That'd be appreciated. See if we can get some more friendly people here to partake. And if anything here we talk about, grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer them to the best of our ability.
We just finished our reading a few minutes ago. You're reading of what? Right now, we're reading Blue Beetle in Mystery Comics. Number what?
Number 6. Volume 1, number 6.
Number 6. Back from November of 1939. That's a long time ago. That's like what? 85 years ago? A little bit? Close?
Let's see. 2023 minus 39. Yeah. 84 years ago.
Yeah, okay. Oh, Birds of Prey, Manhunt, issue 1. Oh, yeah, I have that. It's not too bad. Who were you reading it with? Where? Oh, well, he's answering if you want to get a few things in.
All right, yeah. I was just going to wait to see if he had his answer it, but see if I can find the cursor here. I'll call a doctor. You must be hurt pretty bad. That's you there,
Yeah.
Rick.
Oh. No. I'm all right. Never mind. He says, on the Geeky Puppet Show, we do readings every Friday and Sunday nights. Oh, cool. Leave a. I'm not sure whether you got Twitter, Trusty, or on my channel somewhere. Maybe leave a link to that channel. Maybe we can check it out sometime. Or what time on Fridays and Sundays does he do it? Yeah, it was just an accident. Nothing at all. You can go now. Thanks for your help.
All right, if you say so. Late that night, in the back room of a drugstore, Dan Garrett prepares for the role of the Blue Beetle. That man acted very peculiar. I have a feeling something's wrong.
Oh, don't be worried about interrupting. That's part of what we're supposed to be doing here. Interacting with the chat. Yeah, we're reading, but if you have questions or whatever, that's what it is. Although I was more questioning you, but we want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. Here are your wireless phone and belt, Dan.
Wireless phone and belt. Geez, back in 1939, who would have thunk? I just don't know how a wireless belt would work.
Yeah. I think Von Huger has a hand in this. He's always around where there's a carnival. Several minutes later, the Blue Beetle arrives at the carnival. Looks like I'm just in time. Inside, two gangsters are trying to persuade John Dorr, the manager of the fair.
So, your little accident didn't change your mind. Well, this will.
Shock! Suddenly,
the Blue Beetle! Oh!
The other thug cautiously looks out of the tent.
Hey, Blackie, where are ya?
Right here, pal. Minutes later, the thugs regain consciousness and quickly depart.
Come on, Blackie, let's scrim. Right behind you, Joe.
The two gangsters arrive at an ordinary apartment house.
The door will open in a minute.
All right, you want to do this, guys? Well,
all right, guys, come in. All right, come in, you guys.
After hearing of his henchman's unsuccessful mission, Von Huger goes into a blazing tirade.
You fool! This man isn't Blackie! Don't move, Blue Beetle. I have you covered.
So we meet again, Von Huger.
Yes, but this time I hold the ace. Take him into the execution chamber, Joe.
I'll be back for you, Huger. Later, the thug emerges with a smile of satisfaction on his face.
Well, that ends. That's the end of the Blue Beetle. Now, what about the manager of the carnival? I want you to bring Dorr here. When he sees the body of the Blue Beetle, he'll change his mind about our slot machines. Gee, you're smart, boss.
Joe drives back to the carnival and, at the point of a gun, rouses the manager from deep slumber.
Come on, walk. Here he is, boss. I have the I have a pleasant surprise for you, Door.
Meanwhile, the police chief gets a mysterious phone call. That was the Blue Beetle calling from 107 Parent Street. Get going, boys. Meanwhile, in Von Huger's hideout,
Close the door after us, boss. We want to be alone. Ha ha! Ah. What's in this room?
several minutes pass. Huger grows impatient for his henchman's signal to open the door.
I wonder what's keeping Joe.
As Von Huger nears the little room, his gaze falls upon a powerful figure.
Yeah, ghost! It's the Blue Beetle! It's a ghost. Help!
Von Huger runs into the arms of the police, whom the Blue Beetle telephoned.
Take me to jail!
The next morning, as Dan prepares to go to his new beat, the male costume saved me, Joe. Though he killed me. Thought he killed me through my wireless phone. I called the police. And Huger's slot machine rackets at an end. You know, Dan, I played left out for the Jersey Redbirds in me younger days. Yeah, left out of the game. Dan Garrett, the Blue Beetle, and Mike Manigan will be back again with you in the next issue of Mystery Men Comics, on sale the 15th of every month. Mystery Men Comics is on sale the 15th of each month. We have one more story we're going to go over. Zanzibar the Magician. Let me just see what. Let's see, hour 18. Wow, so. These stories actually went read through these a little faster than usual.
Yeah.
Detective Bancroft of Scotland Yard.
I'm of Scotland Yard, I am, eh? You latties. Here you go, boys.
Secret Agent D13.
So as we're going to the next thing, okay, let's see. I'm gonna take a look, see whether. Yeah, he said they start around 8 p.m. Eastern, and then he said also.
So that's like an hour.
Yeah. Well, on Sundays we can't really catch in, but I could tune in on Fridays before you start at 9. So.
Yeah. Kenny Scott and the Bengal Lancers. Zanzibar, the Magician. The Murderer of Glenwood Village by George Tuska. Death awaits a police chief who defied the underworld, and Zanzibar stalks a killer. It is midnight, and Glenwood Village lies in peaceful slumber. On a lonely street, Police Chief Gray walks warily homeward when a figure emerges from the shadows and approaches him. You want to do that guy right there?
Hey, Chief, remember me, your old friend?
Sorry, I don't know you.
Not so fast, Gray. I'm Marco Hawkins. Now, do you recall? You sent me to prison 5 years ago. I swore I'd get you.
Meanwhile, Zanzibar watches. Something's wrong there. But before Zanzibar can act,
Here's what I wanted to give you 5 years ago.
silently a heavy fog covering his movements, the criminal escapes.
Not a soul in sight. No one will know.
I think
That's that. Now for a drink to settle my nerves. Must be losing my grip.
how do you do? May I speak to you about the murder you've just committed?
How did you get in here? Who are you? What do you want? I think he just told you.
I am known as Zanzibar.
Yeah, well, say your prayers, wise guy. He's gone.
Oh no, I'm still here at this end.
Playing tricks, eh? When I get my hands on you. Gotcha! Oh, hey, he disappeared.
I'm not I'm not here to play tag, Marco. I advise you to give yourself up to the police. If you don't, I'll arrest you myself. Think it over, Hawkins. I'll be back for your answer. At Zanzibar, Lee's Marco makes a hurried call.
I'll get the boys over here.
Shortly, two thugs arrive.
Hello, Joe. Lefty. Listen, boys, I'm in a jam. Some guy named Zanzibar saw me bump off Gray. He's coming back to turn me in.
You want to do the other thug as well there?
Huh. We'll take care of him. Be careful. He's a magician or something. Psst. Here he comes. Now, hide.
Well, Hawkins.
I'm not giving myself up.
Well then, I shall arrest you. Suddenly, the drapery falls over the magician's head. But instead of Zanzibar, an ape emerges from beneath the curtain.
A gorilla! I'm seeing things. Let's get out of here before it kills us. One side, I'm gonna give myself up. One side, I'm gonna give myself up. The ape's after me.
What's wrong?
Quick, lock me up. I killed Inspector Gray. I'm a murderer. For mercy's sake, lock me up. Me too.
Me too. Oh. All right. Oh, nice work, Zanzibar. They're still talking about an ape running loose. How do you do it? That is a professional secret. Zanzibar will again thrill you in the next issue of Mystery Men Comics. Don't miss it. Mystery Men Comics is on sale the 15th of each month. Double feature attraction. Wonderworld Comics. Fantastic. See where are we at on time here?
We are an hour 24 in.
Wow. So let's still run a little short there. Well, maybe we'll find some humor or something to look at here real quick. Wonder World Comics, fantastic. Wonder World Comics, The Flame, K-22, Yarko the Great. Let's see, Fantasticon, Samson, Stardust, Super Wizard, Golden Knight. Now they got the ad pages in color here.
Cool.
All right, so let's see. What time? Let's see. So we're coming up on 1:30, so we probably do have enough time to get to one. Maybe do one more. Okay, I think I'm gonna go back to Wonder World and read the Patio Day story.
Oh, the patio day sounds just lovely, eh?
126. Actually, I could probably just do that. Yeah, Wonder World.
Wonder, wonder, wonder world. Wonder, 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 wonder world.
Oh, there we go. Patio Day by Vic Todd, newsreel reporter. It is against military regulations for Patty to be in the fighting zone, where we find her now. But she will have a scoop if she is not caught. You want to do the guy right there?
Mon Dixta, a camera, you are under arrest. I must revoke your passport and deport you to the United States.
Homeward bound, the liner is sighted by an enemy submarine. A torpedo is fired at the ocean liner. A direct hit. The big liner starts to sink. Confusion reigns aboard the stricken ship, and Patty is busy taking pictures. The last lifeboat takes off, leaving Patty and Ham stranded.
Too busy taking pictures to get in the boat.
Yeah. You want to do Ham right there?
Only chance, our only chance is to build a boat. That's not quite as.
Oh, there goes the ship, Ham.
We've been drifting for hours. No wonder Patty's exhausted. Wake up, Patty. We've reached land at last.
They camp near the beach that night, and in the morning explore the island.
Tomorrow we must hunt for fresh water.
Ham, you're a born pioneer, and the clams you dig up were delicious.
I see plenty of signs of game.
Look, Ham, I see a ship. Hello, on board ship.
Ahoy! Hello, aboard. Might as well return to camp. That ship is deserted.
Aboard the ship, a sinister figure watches them leave.
Now that was a. Go ahead.
That was a close call. There's something mysterious about that deserted old ship. Look, there is an enemy submarine.
Yeah, to see. Now, I only got one thing. They find a deserted ship. Shouldn't they go on, see if there's supplies? Maybe even whether they can get it running. You're
Yeah, I
stuck
guess
in that
maybe the writer, either the writer didn't think of that for some reason, or maybe, maybe they just figured, well, maybe they were just too scared to go on a ghost ship, what they thought was a ghost ship. I don't. The mysterious submarine has Patty puzzled until on the following morning, while they are digging clams.
I think that's her.
Oh, here goes another submarine headed toward the island this time. Quick, get our camera. It's going to the old ship. Just as I thought. That old ship's a fuel depot. That is how they refuel their submarines. A few old oil tank ships placed around in out of the way places, and the submarines can go on raiding without the risk of going to port for fuel. They are seen by some of the submarine's men.
Hands up! We'll show you how we treat those who spy on our secrets. The treat's on me. 2 in 1 punch.
Finally, overcome, they are taken to the submarine. Lock them in the hold of the oil ship until we return. Imprisoned in the old oil ship, Patty and Ham hear the submarine leave.
There's only a handful of men left on board. Maybe we can break out.
Help me set up the camera. I have an idea.
They put the camera in with them? What kind of morons are these?
Well, maybe they somehow had the camera on them. I don't know.
How do you hide that camera? That's it.
Maybe put it under your. Well, look at the parts to it. I mean,
They've got a tripod there.
one
Okay,
part
good.
that he's holding, he could probably hold in his shirt. Probably like put in his shirt or something like that.
That thing's too big. Back then, they would have been way too big to hide in your shirt. It's not like today. Oi, what are you doing?
Oh dear, I'm trying to take your picture, but the light is too dim.
Come on, I'll let you out so you can take a picture of me.
That guy sounds kind of dumb, doesn't he?
Be sure to make me as handsome as I really am. Oh, good work, Party. It's like, huh, like he sees him with the camera. Yeah. What are you gonna do? I'll turn my back on you. Yeah, so you can hit me. I'll turn my back.
Thanks for the key, sailor.
Wow, this water tastes oily.
That's because I released the oil valve on the ship. Give me your lighter, Ham, and I'll show you why I released the oil valve.
Well, I think
What do
he
you
can
think is going to
figure.
happen, Rick? What do you think her intention?
Boom! I think he realizes even before she does anything more. Yeah, you're gonna set the oil on fire, and it's gonna go all the way back to the ship, get into the tank, really heat up, and then go boom, bah.
I'll light the surface. I'll light the oil on the surface of the water. That will fix that fuel ship. Certainly will. Warships hunting submarines are attracted by the fire, arrive just as the oil ship explodes. Later, aboard the friendly battleship, Patty tells the commander of her loss of valuables, news films. He sends a radiogram to Army headquarters in her behalf. That should be on her behalf, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Miss O'Day, we wish to thank you for your great work. Your passport will be returned, and you will have full freedom to take nude pictures in the future. Wonderworld Comics is on sale the 28th of every month.
Awesome as a possum.
That was a nice story.
So Mighty, not Mighty, Trusty, you still here? How did you enjoy the stories?
All right, 136. So, yeah, I think we'll start to wind things down now. Granted, it might be a little early, but
well, we did get 5 stories in today, so that is good, for sure. Normally, you struggle to get 4 or 5 in, so.
Yeah, I just well, I think it depends upon how much commentary we do. I think we just focus more on reading tonight. Not as much commentary. There wasn't a whole lot commentary-wise to really go on either. But.
Yeah, I said a couple things here or there.
Yeah, you know some of the leaps in logic, particularly the last couple of stories there, which I'm sure you'll have fun talking about on Sunday when we all get together for our panel show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just looking 99, 2003, 33, and 2018. All right. So how did you like the stories overall, Rick?
Overall, I liked them. They were good. We've read I think most, if not all, those features before, and
Well, I know we've read The Flame before because that was in one. We've read quite a few of the features in Wonderworld comics before because I remember having you do Yarko quite a bit earlier on before The Flame was introduced and before we had Yarko books out there. So, yeah. So, anyways, so yeah, we're coming up on 138 now. So, said we'll kind of start to wind down a little bit here. So, with that, today is Friday, August the 4th.
And it's time for Today in Niche History!
That is correct. So today being Friday, August 4th, let's take a look back at this day in Niche history. First off, we're going to head back 90 years ago today.
That's a long time ago.
Yes. On this date, 90 years ago today, back in 1933, the Fleischer Studios Betty Boop short, The Old Man in the Mountain, premiered in movie theaters on this date back in 1933. The Old Man of the Mountain was a 1933 American pre-code live-action animated short in the Betty Boop series, produced by Fleischer Studios, featuring music by Cab Calloway and his orchestra, as with Minnie the Moocher. The short was originally released on August 4th, 1933 by Paramount Pictures. Calloway voices all of the characters in the cartoon, save for Betty herself, who was voiced at this time by Bonnie Poe. Her singing voice provided by Mae Quetzal. Mae Quetzal would eventually be Olive Oyl in, for a long time, was Olive Oyl's voice in the Popeye cartoons later on. Calloway and his orchestra also performed all of the music in the cartoon. As the plot goes, the short ends the live-action introduction of Calloway and his orchestra, who performed the short chorus of Minnie the Moocher, written by Cap Calloway, Clarence Gaskell, and Irving Mills, before performing a vamp of the title song, The Old Man of the Mountain, Billy Hill, a.k.a. George Brown, and Victor Young. As the cartoon proper begins, a lion on a roller coaster made of rabbits rushes from his guard post shot atop a mountain. So, yeah. Now, the thing was, this is pre-code, pre-Hayes Code, I believe, which would have probably meant that Betty might have been in what would have been considered for the time, so, maybe a little risque type clothing.
Yeah.
So anyways, on this date 90 years ago today, The Old Man of the Mountain premiered in theaters from Fleischer Studios. So moving ahead now to 1999, which was just 24 years ago today. On this date back in 1999, the 5th issue of Authority from DC.
Respect my authority!
From DC's Wildstorm imprint went on sale on this date back in 1999. Sold for $2.50 for 32 pages. The story titled was Shift Ships, written by Warren Ellis, with penciled by Brian Hitch. Paul Neary did the inking. The lettering was done by Allison Fuchs, and then coloring done by Laura Dupuy Martin and Chris Garcia. So on this date, 24 years ago today, 5th issue of Authority from DC Comics Wildstorm imprint went on sale on this date.
Hey, Captain Finity, how are you doing? Good to see you over here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you got here a little late. We read through a bunch of comics from November 1939. We are doing this date in niche history at the moment, wrapping up a bit here. But it's good to have you over here.
And of course, if you want to go back and listen to us reading the comics, you can always, go about
do that
the
in a bit
as well.
for sure.
Yeah. So, anyways, because I do leave them up, but if you can at least like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people watching this. That'd be of some great help. And of course, feel free to comment and or ask questions if you have anything catches your attention. Fortunately for you, maybe I just.
Unfortunately for you, maybe I just had a meeting with Dillard. Well, that's obviously due for his comic, which is by the same name, Captain Finity, that he is in the middle of making. That I believe he'll be crowdfunding in the next year or so, or less.
All right. So, anyways, now getting ready to move on to the next piece of niche history here as we move ahead to 2003, which was 20 years ago today. On this date in 2003, let's find it here. WWE held its Monday Night Raw event.
Ooh, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada!
Right, from the PNE Coliseum in Vancouver, British Columbia. The main commentators on the show were Jonathan Coachman and Jerry Lawler. The main event saw Eric Bischoff defeat Shane McMahon in a no-holds-barred match. Other matches included Rob Van Dam defeating Chris Jericho. Trish Stratus would defeat women's champion Molly Holly via DQ in a women's championship match. Goldberg defeated Ric Flair by DQ. The show opened up with Bubba Ray Dudley defeating Rene Dupree in 239. So, were you about to say something, Rick?
I just did the Ric Flair thing. Woo!
Well, anyways, on this date 20 years ago today, the WWE had its Monday Night Raw event from the PNE Coliseum in Vancouver, British Columbia,
Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, last but not least, move ahead to 2018. As on this date 5 years ago in 2018, Flavors of Youth from Comics Wave Films and K 7 Stories Side Blue from Gohan's, both premiered in Japanese theaters on this date. These two anime films premiered in Japanese theaters on this date 5 years ago today. So, Flavors of Youth from Comics Wave Film, among other companies, and Gohan's K7 story, Side Blue, both premiered on this date in 2003, 20 years ago. So with that, yeah, we're gonna run a little short here, but I think that's all right. Rick, I thank you for being here tonight. I thank everybody for being here. And I hope we see everybody back here on Sunday when we get back for the
panel show on Monday night.
So yeah, our weekend edition panel show. With that, I thank everybody for being here, and I hope to see everybody back here on Sunday. Bye.
Sunday, bloody Sunday.